What is the most attractive eye color to the opposite sex? Stick around and let's chat about it today on this episode of Christian Date Coach. Let's hit it. What's up, everybody? My name is Dr. Phoenix Singh. I want to warmly welcome you to this episode of Christian Date Coach, the channel where we take a look at the research literature on attraction, dating, and relationships from a Christian perspective. But I want you to know that if you're not a believer, you are just equally as warmly welcome here on our channel. Now, in terms of our channel, if you enjoy the content we put out, please do consider subscribing and hit that bell so you get notifications every time that we post new original content. In addition, please feel free to share this video with your friends as well as any members of your congregation who you think may enjoy it. Now, you can also follow me at the social media accounts below, but having said that, let's go ahead and jump right in to today's brief discussion. This question was posed to me by a blue-eyed friend of mine, and she said, when it comes to eye color, because she just got colored contact lenses because she wanted to see what her eyes would look like if they were brown instead of blue. And so she said, I'm really curious to know, is there a certain eye color that people find more attractive than other eye colors? So my background is a little odd insofar as I've lived in a lot of different countries. So I've lived on 4 continents and 6 different countries. And what I find, if you kind of take a look at it, is that, I've lived in countries like Norway, where it seems like everybody's blonde hair, blue-eyed. Lived in countries like Israel, where there's very few blonde hair, blue-eyed individuals, right? And everywhere in between. And we'll talk in another video about hair color and which hair colors are perceived to be most attractive and why that is, as well as this concept of do gentlemen prefer blondes? There's a saying in the U.S. which is, gentlemen prefer blondes. Is that true? And if there is some truth to it, what's the rationale for it? And so we'll chat about that in that other video. But today I want to chat a little bit about eye color preference. So what the research literature suggests on this is that the only combination of men with blue eyes, men with brown eyes, men with hazel eyes, and women with brown eyes, women with blue eyes, women with hazel eyes. The only one of every possible combination, if we were to make a matrix, right, between the 2 different sexes and then all the different eye colors, is blue-eyed men. Blue-eyed men do not realize that they have a very strong preference in terms of eye color, but they do, and blue-eyed men statistically significantly, to a very high extent, prefer blue-eyed women. Now, there's obviously the question of kind of why this is, and when I say that blue-eyed men don't realize this, in terms of research paradigms, one of my favorite studies on this is basically the experimenters took, different colored photographs of a variety of different women with a variety of different eye colors, but then what they did is that they modified the eye colors of the exact same women, of the identical women, and basically, just kept showing photos over and over again to these men. And of course, you can imagine going through it, you're like, well, I've already seen that person, so, swipe, swipe, or click, click, whatever the paradigm used. I forget the methodology in terms of if it was computer-based or app-based, I honestly forget. But what happened was that they found that when you took the same women whose natural eye color was not blue, and they changed it to be blue, that blue-eyed men were significantly more likely to find them more attractive. So, why on earth would this be? Why would it be that when you take a look at the official statistics, 70% of blue-eyed men have blue-eyed partners, right? Why is that? Because if you think about it, right, so let's get a little bit into the rationale behind it. So having blue eyes, right, this is a recessive trait, right? The phenotype is recessive in nature genetically. And what that means is that unless you have 2 individuals, both of whom have blue eyes, it's almost impossible, right? Or the rates are very, very low that you are going to end up having a blue-eyed child unless both of you are blue-eyed. So for example, if you have blue eyes and your partner has brown eyes, then you're most likely going to have a brown-eyed child, right? Statistically speaking. And so essentially the idea is that this is the de facto, the old school paternity test for men with blue eyes. Now it's interesting because women with blue eyes, there's no statistically significant relationship, right? They don't care whether you have blue eyes or brown eyes or whatever it is. It's the men who care. Right? And men classically are kind of obsessed with paternity, which makes evolutionary sense. And if you take a look at other primates, if they end up mating with someone who already have kids, they'll either expel the children or in some cases even kill the children, right, of the partner, so that, you know, the only individuals where resources going to them is their own bloodline, right? So obviously in human beings, that's not the case. However, right, it's certainly the case where it makes sense that there would also be this deep feeling of, oh my goodness, I have blue eyes, she has blue eyes, our kid has brown eyes, what's going on? You know, what color eyes does, you know, the milkman have, you know, etc. So basically this is the de facto paternity test, because keep in mind that, you know, until recently, you know, we didn't have paternity tests. We couldn't test this. And so because of that, this was a very primal way for blue-eyed men to tell whether or not their children were most likely theirs. Now, obviously, if you got a ton of blue-eyed men in your tribe, then it's not an 100% certainty that it's your child, obviously, right? But of course, it increases the likelihood that it is your child if you end up having a kiddo who has blue eyes, if your partner also has blue eyes. So this is what the literature says about eye color preference, that it is unique to blue-eyed men specifically. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me today for this brief little video. I hope you enjoyed the content, as well as learning about the literature base, as I always do as well. You can go ahead and contact me via the website below if you're interested in exploring either one-on-one or group-based date coaching. In addition, if you're interested in having me come and speak to your congregation or speak to a ministry of yours, be it a singles ministry or premarital counseling, you know, you let me know. It would be a pleasure to do that for you at your place of worship. It's a great joy of my life to come and do that. In the meanwhile, don't forget to get out there, take chances, and be your best self. God bless you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed that episode and you'd like to see more original content, then please do click on one of the links right here. I hope to see you in the next one.